the next video. So in today's video we will start learning about Kubernetes. So this will be a long series, like I won't cover everything about Kubernetes in this video. This will be extremely basic video. This is the first part of it, and we also won't be running any application as such. So I just wanted to give you a gist about Kubernetes and something about how to write pods and services. Like even I am learning Kubernetes, I'm not an expert in it. So yeah, whatever I will learn, I'll share with you guys. So firstly, what you will have to do is you will have to go to your Docker desktop, and you will have to click on this settings icon which you see over here. So just click on this settings icon, then go to Kubernetes and make sure you enable Kubernetes. You don't have to use a Minikube. So like from what I have understood, like Minikube was an older thing, and if you have a Docker desktop installed, you don't require Minikube. You can directly install Kubernetes from Docker desktop itself. Now this is for Mac. I'm not sure about Mac OS. I'm not sure about Windows or Linux. So because I'm using a Mac, so yeah, I think a quick Google search might help you with that. That's the first thing. The second thing is you will have to install kubectl. Now to install kubectl, again, I'm sorry, but I know only how to do it for Mac. You can do a Google search for Windows or Linux, but if you have homebrew installed, you can just run brew install kubectl. And once kubectl is installed, you can quickly check whether it was installed properly or not by running kubectl space cluster-info, and you should see something. So I'll just show you what you should be able to see. So if I run this command, here you can see that it is kubectl is running properly. Next, I have created two files. One is pod file and another is a service file. So we'll go through this. Now you don't have to understand it entirely, even I don't have to understand it, but all we are doing over here is that we have so I have created a separate folder for this. So this file is kind of like a pod file. The name which I have given it is that is client dash pod. Then for labels, we have kept the name as component:web. Now this thing is not mandatory. You can give anything, but this name should be referred inside your service file as well, or your networking file. In our case, it is client node port. And here again, I have followed the documentation. I have given it some name, and this image is already present on my Docker Hub. So if you haven't watched on how to push your images to Docker Hub, do watch my previous tutorials on Docker, in which I go about how to containerize multiple services like Next.js and Node.js, and in that I have pushed my both Next.js, Node.js on Docker Hub. So if using GitHub Actions, so if you are curious, you can watch that. And here I am just referencing my Node.js app, and the container port is 3001 because my Node.js app was running on 3001. Next, inside client node port, here you can see it is a service of kind service, and I have given some metadata name as client node port. The type is node port. Now this port I have set it as 3050. So once everything is set up, you should be able to run this application on port number 3050. Now the target port should be the same port which you have defined it over here, the container port. So this should be same, and the node port can be, I think it can be anything between 30,000 to 32,000, but if you haven't specified, it would be assigned automatically for you by Kubernetes, but I have decided to assign it by myself. And the selector component is web, so this should be the same what you have defined it over here, so that there is a connection between your pod as well as your service. Once you have done this, you can easily run this command by something like this: kubectl apply -f followed by the name of this file, as well as you will have to run kubectl apply -f client node port.yaml. So I have already run this, but that's why you are seeing this client pod unchanged and client node pod unchanged. But you will see something. You will see. I'll show you. So you will see something like this: this service client node pod created, client pod created, and after that you can just check whether the pod is proper or not. Just run kubectl get pods, and you should see something like this. Same for services as well. So there are two services. One is internal to Kubernetes, so you can ignore this cluster IP, but the service which we have ran is node port, so this is properly showing. So yeah, that's it. Like even in future videos we will figure out how to run this application, and also how to make our application of multi-container services which we have checked in the Docker tutorial to make it work with Kubernetes. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.